beautiful legacy. Every line, every curve leaves a trace of who we were.
You're listening to A Beautiful Legacy. I'm your host, Tiago Pinto, and this is your short daily pause to learn from the people who shaped how we live, shop, work, and move. In each episode, we take 10 minutes to revisit one creator and uncover the ideas, the systems, and the choices that still define our world today. Today's story, it's all about how we shop for groceries, but not only. In the world of retail, branding once lived far away from the shop floor. It belonged to agencies, campaigns, and packaging studios, a universe of polished imagery disconnected from the fluorescent aisles where millions made their daily choices. Then came Don Watt, analytical, relentless in his pursuit of clarity. He looked at the store and did not see shelves. He saw a communication system. He looked at packaging and did not see a product. He saw architecture. He looked at retail as a whole and realized something no one had articulated before. The store itself is the brand. That was his revolution, not a slogan, not a logo, but a structural shift in how modern commerce communicates. Born in 1936 in Canada, Don Watt entered design before retail design even existed as a defined profession. He grew up in a pragmatic post-war environment where the grocery store was a community anchor, not a theatrical stage. His early career was grounded in the practical, visual merchandising, packaging, basic signage, nothing glamorous. But it gave him a rare understanding of how people actually behave in commercial spaces, how they scan, compare, hesitate, and trust. Don was not seduced by aesthetics. He was down to structure, behavior, and the mechanics of decision-making. Retail became the field where his analytical mind found purpose. And from this foundation, his central insight emerged. The true brand experience happens inside the store, not outside it. To understand Don Watt's philosophy, one must start with the Home Depot. He took a radical approach. Unify everything, under a single visual code. Orange was not an accent, it was the environment itself. The aprons, the beams, the signage, the shelving, the wayfinding, the carts. Everything. In an era of fragmented visual identity, he created a retail world so coherent that it became instantly recognizable from the parking lot. Don Watt understood that consistency builds trust faster than advertising. Color became a strategic asset. The environment itself delivered the brand message: practical, affordable, unpretentious. It was branding built from the inside out, long before anyone used that phrase. If Home Depot was about world building, Loblaws was about clarity. Here, Don Watt mastered the integration of packaging, signage, and spatial logic. No Name and President's Choice were not packaging lines, they were extensions of the store's architecture. Yellow no-name products formed visual blocks that stabilized the shelf. President's Choice added a premium layer that spoke the same visual language. Aisle marks, price cards, typography, and palette became synchronized. Loblaws became a lesson on how a store can explain itself to you in mere seconds. You did not need to decode the environment. The system did the work. Value became something visible, not shouted. Before Don Watt, Walmart was already a giant, but with no visual discipline. After Don Watt, it became an understandable environment. He imposed a coherent communication system across thousands of stores. Large numerals, simplified category markers, a logical hierarchy of information, and a reduction of unnecessary noise. For billions of everyday shoppers, he made the largest retailer in the world feel navigable. He treated simplicity as a promise and delivered it through design.
Legacy. Every line, every curve leaves a trace of who we were.
Don Watt's most important contribution was not a single store or a single brand. It was the idea of an integrated retail language, a system where every element, from pack size to lighting temperature, forms part of the brand's voice. To him, packaging was part of the space, signage was part of behavior, layout was part of communication, color was part of meaning, and the store was the ultimate medium. He unified disciplines that had long operated in isolation. After Don Watt, they became one strategic practice: retail branding. He turned the store into a message. What does it mean for today's world? Walk into any supermarket, DIY store, pharmacy, or hypermarket today, anywhere across Europe or North America, and you will find Don Watt's thinking woven into the environment, whether you know his name or not. The idea that a store's colors, typography, packaging, and signage all contribute to one brand identity, that's what. The expectation that supermarkets' shelves, price cards, category signage, and wayfinding follow a single visual grammar, that's also Don Watt. The notion that packaging is not merely graphic decoration, but a structural unit of the store's architecture, also Don's work. He established the foundation for color-coded category systems, common in modern retail. The disciplined shelf blocking, using in discount and premium formats alike. The visual transparency across pricing that consumers now expect. The belief that the store must be instantly readable. The global understanding that the store is the brand. His ideas have become invisible through their own success. We no longer perceive them as innovations, because they became standards. The world shops through the language he helped to create. Don Watt did not just design stores, he reshaped how society understands retail. Don Watt transformed the most ordinary public environment, the place where we run our errands, into a coherent, strategic, and legible world. He proved that the store is not a neutral container but a living brand, speaking through every color, every sign, every package, every aisle. He designed not the surfaces of retail, but its logic. Don Watt made the store the brand, and that truly is a beautiful legacy.
Beautiful legacy.
You've been listening to A Beautiful Legacy, a short moment of clarity in a moment built by remarkable minds. If it inspired you, follow the show and join me again on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Until then, keep noticing the beauty people leave behind.
Beautiful legacy. Every line, every curve leaves a trace of who we were. In the shape of a chair in